Hi Scorpio, welcome to your May reading. I'm not going to say anything, it's just for a moment until these cards come up and then we can talk. Okay, so you take a deep breath now. 10 of Wands. All the things. You want it long term. You want long-term assurances. You want long-term plans. You want long-term deals. You want long-term contracts. You want marriage. You want to find a long-term place to stay. You want tenure. You want a long-term contract at work. Why do you want these assurances? Because you can feel something coming. You can feel some sort of upheaval, some disastrous event that makes you feel like you have less than when you started. You don't want to go backwards. You don't want to have to do things over again. It feels like such a loss. It feels like failure. And you hate that feeling of being stuck to something that isn't spectacular. You don't want to be stuck. You either want things to be long-term or you want to be set free. You don't want to be held back in some slow descent into nothing. You don't feel the evolution, so you don't feel the freedom. It really does devolve you a little bit because you remember all those different habits that you thought you left behind, and all of a sudden you want to snoop, you want to stalk, you want to know, you want to be mean. Don't do it. Don't do it. You don't need to do that. You also may be thinking in the midst of all this that maybe you can force those assurances, maybe you can force those long-term deals. Maybe you can force someone into committing to you long-term. You can't. And the more you smother the situation, instead of leaving it alone, 6 of Swords, the worse it'll get. If you let it be, though, it'll turn into exactly what you thought it was going to be. But if you don't, all you'll see are swords. Even if that person isn't doing anything to you, all you'll see are swords. What you expect is what you're going to get. What you expect is how you're going to act. And the other person is going to react. Whether it's someone you're negotiating with about a job or pay, or someone you're negotiating with about where you live and how you live, how committed you are. Things can move so quickly. As long as nobody feels like they're being deceived into something. When you push too hard, sometimes it comes off like there's some agenda, even if there isn't. And then people find it hard to trust you. So just don't be obsessive, even though you're going to want to be obsessive about everything. That's the thing. Jupiter moves into Pisces, and you just want to say all the things. Some of you, actually, Jupiter moves into Pisces, and you can meet the love of your life overnight. But for most of you, it just means that you want to set the record straight before you make your big decisions. Your life can change completely in May, especially around, let's see here, especially around the lunar eclipse. You can meet somebody that makes you cut everybody else out and start again. You can meet someone who gives you a new way to look at the world, a new way to look at money, a new way to look at investing, a new way to look at the things that have held you back from this point. From this point forward, you can't be held back by the same things, is what I mean. Someone who shows you how easy it is to be more. They don't pressure or stress you into it. You don't have to pressure or stress them into liking you. They just like you. Once we go into Gemini season, do not trust the deals that are offered to you. Don't trust anything. Don't take any big risks. Whatever you see address it. Whatever debts you have, pay them. Whatever investment you have in mind, go for it. You find your freedom there. Whomever you need to speak to, do so. But it all has to be on a healthy foundation. Anything you move forward with now has to be built on the truth and a healthy foundation. And if it can't be, if the needs are not being met, if the pay is not right, it just won't last. And it's better to be joyful about moving to the next good thing instead of being upset and feeling like failures are our failures. Just because something fails does not mean you are a failure. But staying in something just so you don't feel like a failure, that can cause real failure. It's not a bad thing to tell people what you want. And it's also not a bad thing to hold them to it when they say they love you and they want you to be happy. Let's look at these cards. It'll make more sense. Love you. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to the second part of your reading. 10 of Wands in the Tower. You saw the road. You were walking down the road. You knew where it was going. You had it all, planned out. You could see where the road would end and you were quite fine with it. You wanted to trust. You wanted to believe. And then the Tower. Suddenly, those 10 wands, the road you're on, the place you're going to, right? It all just seemingly goes up in smoke. Now, this happens to many of you, but for very different reasons. So some of you, you just can't, it's too slow. You want, like I said in the first part, you want assurances, especially after tomorrow when Venus moves into Gemini. You want assurances. You want to know that you can count on this thing that you're creating, whether this is a business venture with a friend or a lover, a significant other, a spouse. You have this need for something you can hold on to. But that Knight of Pentacles is really tricky because it implies someone who is slow, non-committal, unsure, and gives you no assurance whatsoever. Now, the argument could be made that it's because they're just naturally slow and you need to give them their time. But you and I both know, as I am a Vedic fixed sign and you are a fixed sign, you and I both know that when we want to move, we move. It doesn't matter if we've been slow all our life or non-committal all our life. When we decide, we move. So now your issue with whomever this is, or whatever the situation is, the issue is, why won't you press the button? Why isn't it go time? How long do we have to wait before it can be go time? The Four of Pentacles says, you're going to want it, you're going to hold on to it, you're going to be stubborn about it, you are not going to compromise on it, you want what you want. So for a lot of you, that translates to the Six of Swords. You want what you want, so you got to go. Why? Seven of Swords, because they're not only are they not telling you the truth, they're also not giving you what you need. They're also taking from your opportunities where you could be going elsewhere and getting what you need. There's so much unfairness. It's such a one-sided situation. And as soon as you decide that you can actually see that and you're worth more than that, That 8 of Wands pushes you right out. The 8 of Wands says, you know what? Leave this person alone. Stop smothering them. Get out and establish your own happy. You've said what you needed to say. If that doesn't translate into any change, well, I guess then you're single and it's time to motherfucking mingle, because there is a lot out there and it is a very good time to meet someone, as I'm sure you are aware. Of course, you want to talk it out as much as you can. You want to say what needs to be said. You don't want to hold anything back out of fear now that someone's feelings may be hurt, because now it's go time. Whether this person or this institution wants it to be go time or not, now it is go time. And the reason you need to set the record straight is because this foundation has to be sound if anything's going to be built on it. And right now, no matter how much power they're displaying, no matter how much love they may be displaying, no matter how much they may tell you with their words that you mean everything and that they're committed, or that they're, committed to the project, committed to the relationship, committed to parenting, whatever it is, you can feel within yourself that the foundation is shaky. For long-term couples especially, all the cracks in the foundation start to show and may completely changes your life. There's a lot of good that can come out of it, but you've got to say what you need to say before the 20th when the sun moves into Gemini. Once the sun moves into Gemini, you got to take a break. No big risks, not in investing, not in telling people your feelings, no big risks. Playing it real safe all through Gemini season. After the 26th, right around that eclipse, whomever this person is that you've had this falling out with, they're going to try to come back. And you know what you're going to see? You're going to see all the things that you didn't see before. You're going to see all the things that you pretended you didn't see before. Now, you didn't know you were pretending, so it's no big deal, no judgment, but it was still pretending. That person was never who you thought they were. That's who you wanted them to be. And the thing is, you have a choice. You can be really obsessive. You can let all your bad habits get to you. You can be jealous. You can stalk. You can obsess. You can get mad. You can get violent. You can get conniving. You can start plotting and scheming if you want. But my very simple question to you is why? Why does someone need all of that when they're already making it clear that they can't make space for you in their life, or that they don't want you? Their actions are indicative of them not wanting you. Why then would you exert so much effort and so much control and so much and cause yourself so much anxiety over someone who doesn't even want to be around? Who can't be bothered to make an effort? So you are willing to go to such lengths and make such effort to teach someone a lesson because they wouldn't make an effort? Think about it. Think about it and get back to me. Let go of the habit of needing to teach people a lesson when all you really need to do for them to learn something is to leave. Because even the teaching them a lesson, honestly, it's an excuse to stay close. Even if you're not seeing them, even if you're not talking to them, there's still this engagement. There's still this energy exchange. So just don't do it. You may feel like the affection is a little bit off, like your partner isn't being quite as affectionate, or the affection between your friends is off. People aren't being as nice, right? No need to bring it up. You'll just seem whiny and needy, and we know you're not that. No need to bring it up. People are in this strange kind of holding pattern when it comes to you right now, because they're afraid of you, but they wish they were you, but they can tell that you're obsessing, but also what's really going on in your life, because they can't really tell because you're super private. And all of this comes together as this really kind of tantalizing mix that you think should benefit you. But actually what it does is it makes people think that you're always asking for too much. It makes people think that you're being entitled. Things that a normal person could ask for and no one would blink and, no one would like bat an eye at. When you ask for it, it's like, oh, look who they think they are. You see? It's time for you to value your time and energy more than someone who just couldn't cut it. And no, that's not a get out of jail free card. I'm not trying to just sweep that away. Them not being able to cut it is quite a tragedy, especially a personal tragedy for them. Right? Because they're the ones that are going to have to hear it from their friends, their family, everybody. Oh my God, I can't believe you let that person go. Can't believe you let that employee go. Can't believe you let that business partner go. You don't have to do anything. And certainly don't ask for anything. You don't have to do anything. Just understand that if somebody is showing you with their actions, not so much with their words, they'll tell you anything you want to hear and keep delaying you. But if someone is showing you with their actions that they don't have your best interest at heart, oh, Scorpio, you got to get out. Sometimes I feel like people make it very obvious to you that they don't care, just so maybe it'll get through your head. But we know once you get attached, it can be very hard for you to see anything. So, good? Good. We're working on these vices. And we're working on evolution, becoming better, stronger, faster. Love you, love you. I'll see you in the extended in just a few minutes. The extended will be on Vimeo. It's also on Patreon under the Scorpio tier and the Scorpio plus the ZA tier. What is the ZA, you may ask? It's a place. It's a place we walk to on our motivational walks together on the live on Instagram. You'll love it. Come join. If you are interested in getting the extended reading not through Patreon or not through Vimeo, you can also use the instant PayPal link below. If you like these rings, these are the Quietest Revolution rings. This is the World. It's not quite on sale yet. And this is the Empress. I think you'll be able to pre-order these next week. There is a link for that below as well. And last but not least, if you are interested in the astrological transits of the day and how they apply to your sun, moon, rising, come on over to Instagram and join the Rev Fam at the Quietest Revolution. We have a lot of fun. Love you, love you. I'll see you in June. Now I'll see you in the extended.